Hello everyone. Today we continue with numerical problems of depression in freezing point. The other example is that 1.355 grams of a substance. Which substance it is they did not mention. So what is this given here? Weight of solute given. And substance is not given means gram molecular weight of solute. Gram molecular weight of solute we need to calculate. Dissolved in 55 grams of acetic acid. What is the name of this? Acetic acid. Here 55 grams is what now? Weight of solvent. Weight of solvent in grams given 55 grams. And it is acetic acid. What is the gram molecular weight? Gram molecular weight of acetic acid solvent is equal to 60 grams per mole. Okay. Produced, the substance dissolved in acetic acid has produced a depression in the freezing point of 0.618 degrees Celsius. So this value should be called what now? Delta TF. Delta TF is what? The depression in the freezing point. So this much freezing point is depressed. Calculate the gram molecular weight of the substance. Okay, the solute gram molecular weight we have to calculate. So we have to calculate what gram molecular weight of solute. Gram molecular weight of solute we need to calculate. Okay, and now listen here. Delta TF. Delta TF is nothing but depression in freezing point is equal to Kf. Kf is called what here? Molar depression constant. Delta TF is equal to Kf into Wb weight of solute by gram molecular weight of solute into 1000 by weight of solvent in grams. Weight of solvent in grams. Weight of solute will be taken in grams and weight of solvent is taken in grams. Where Wb indicates what? Mass of solute. Mb indicates gram molecular mass of solute. Wa is mass of solvent. Where delta Tf is what? Depression in freezing point is equal to Kf value given here. Kf value of solvent is given 3.85 Kelvin kg mole inverse. Kelvin kg mole inverse given. So Kf is given, delta Tf is given. And what is weight of solute given? Weight of solute Wb is given what? 1.355 grams. And gram molecular weight of solute we need to calculate. Gram molecular weight 1000 by weight of solvent. How many grams of solvent is given? 55 grams. So 55 grams. From this we get gram molecular weight equals to 153.47 grams per mole. So it is gram molecular weight of solute. In this way we have to get gram molecular weight of given solute. What is the main purpose of these colligative properties? To determine the gram molecular weight of given solute, non-volatile solute. And the other example is that what should be the freezing point of aqueous solution? What should be the freezing point of aqueous solution? Means what now here? TF of solution. TF of solution they ask you to calculate. So TF of solution is what? TF of solution is to be calculated here. What should be the freezing point of aqueous solution containing 17 grams of ethyl alcohol? What is this 17 grams here? Weight of solute. Weight of solute is given 17 grams of ethyl alcohol. And ethyl alcohol is what here? Solute. Ethyl alcohol is nothing but here solute. Okay, 17 grams of ethyl alcohol in 1000 grams of water. So the solvent is water here, and this 1000 grams is what? Mass of solvent. So weight of solvent is given 1000 grams. And Kf for water. Kf value for water is 1.86 degree kg mole inverse. That is Kelvin kg mole inverse. Okay. So the Kf value of water sometimes will not be given in numerical problems. So Kf value we have to remember 1.86. So they ask you to calculate what now? TF of solution. And water is solvent here. For this water solvent, TF naught we must know. TF naught of pure water is what? 0 degree Celsius. 0 degree Celsius. It is what? Freezing point of water, pure solvent. Freezing temperature of pure solvent is what? 0 degree Celsius here. Okay, now delta TF is equal to what? Kf value, molar depression constant into weight of solute by gram molecular weight of solute into 1000 by weight of solvent in grams. Okay, now here what is the Kf value? 1.86 given, and weight of solute how much? 17 grams by molecular weight of solute how much? Ethyl alcohol solute, gram molecular weight of solute is equal to what? MB. MB is equal to 46 grams per mole. It is gram molecular weight of what? Solute. And we get how many grams of solvent given? 1000 grams of solvent. So weight of solid by gram molecular weight of solute into 1000 by weight of solvent in grams is equal to 0.69. 0.69. Okay, 0.69 is what now here what we have got? Delta TF. Delta TF we got here. Depression in freezing point we got. Generally depression in freezing point formula what? Delta TF is equal to TF naught minus TF of solution. TF naught minus TF of solution. Freezing temperature of pure solvent minus freezing temperature of solution. Okay, so this difference is equal to how much we got here? Delta TF value 0.69 we got. Okay, ma? Now TF naught value how much? 0 degrees Celsius. TF naught how much? 0 degrees Celsius. We must know this one. And TF of solution we are asked to calculate. So freezing point of solution is equal to freezing point of solution. This one is equal to what now here? TF naught value minus delta TF. TF naught minus what? Delta TF will give TF of solution. TF of the solution is equal to TF naught minus delta TF. TF naught how much? 0 degrees Celsius. We know this. Minus what is delta TF we got here? 0.69. It is equal to minus 0.69 degrees Celsius. It is what now? Freezing point of solution. What is this value? TF of freezing temperature of solution we got. Is the concept clear? So it's about what now here? Calculation of freezing point of the given solution. Now the other colligative property we are going to discuss. Already 3 colligative properties we have discussed. What are they? Relative lowering of vapor pressure. Next, elevation in boiling point. And next one, depression in freezing point. And one more is that osmotic pressure. What is this? Osmotic pressure. So osmotic pressure is the 4th colligative property. Okay. Now other colligative property is osmotic pressure. Now first of all, we have to understand what is osmosis. When a semi-permeable membrane, take short form SPM. When a semi-permeable membrane is placed between a solution and a solvent, for example, you take glucose solution and pure water. Glucose solution and pure water should be separated by which membrane? Semi-permeable membrane. In that condition, it is observed that when you separate solvent and solution with the help of semi-permeable membrane, it is observed that the solvent molecules, that is only water molecules, enter the solution. The solvent molecules enter the solution through what? Semi-permeable membrane, and the volume of solution increases. When the water is coming, suppose you take this way here. So here this is divided into 2 compartments. Here we have taken suppose pure solvent. What is taken here? Pure solvent. Example, you take water, H2O molecules. Okay, and here this side we are taking solution. What we have taken? Solution. So here it is aqueous solution only. What is solution here? Aqueous solution means solvent is there, water is there here. Now what happens where concentration is less here? In this case, low concentration to be taken for pure solvent and high concentration for solution. Now what we have to understand is that from lower concentration region, the solvent molecules nothing but here H2O. The solvent molecules pass through semi-permeable membrane and enter into which side? Solution side. From pure solvent, the H2O enters the solution. Then what is happening now? The volume of solution increases. It is also observed that if two solutions of unequal concentrations, suppose you take solution 1 with C1 concentration, solution 2 with C2 concentration, when these two solutions are separated by SPM, SPM stands for semi-permeable membrane, from low concentration to high concentration, the water molecules will be moving. It is also observed that if two solutions of unequal concentrations are separated by a semi-permeable membrane, the solvent molecules, that is H2O molecules in most of the cases, okay, from a solution of lower concentration move towards what? A solution of higher concentration. From lower concentration region to higher concentration region, the solvent molecules only move. Here, this phenomena, this movement of solvent molecules through semi-permeable membrane, this phenomena was first observed by Abbe Nollet. So Abbe Nollet has first time observed what? The process of movement of solvent molecules from lower concentration region to higher concentration region. Okay, in 1748 he has observed and termed as osmosis. And the process name, the phenomena is called what? It was called by him osmosis. In Greek, osmos means to push. Okay, the water molecules are getting pushed from lower concentration towards higher concentration. Osmosis is defined as the spontaneous flow. The spontaneous flow means the flow on its own. The spontaneous flow of solvent molecules through semi-permeable membrane from a pure solvent, that is from low concentration, to a solution of, okay, a solution, or from a dilute to concentrated solution, from dilute solution to concentrated solution, from dilute solution to a concentrated solution we can take, otherwise from solvent to solution, from solvent to solution we can take, or from a dilute solution to concentrated solution. Dilute solution is what? Low concentration. Dilute solution is of low concentration. Concentrated solution is of high concentration. So from low concentration to high concentration, the particles of solvent move. This spontaneous flow is called osmosis. Differences between osmosis and diffusion. The two processes, the two phenomena, diffusion and osmosis, can be distinguished. They can be distinguished in terms of the following aspects. Okay, in diffusion process, solute as well as solvent molecules, both solute molecules and solvent molecules, flow in opposite directions, while in osmosis the flow of solvent molecules occurs in one direction only. In osmosis, what happens? Only solvent moves from one concentration to high concentration, means low concentration to high concentration. In one direction only solvent molecules will be moving in osmosis. But in diffusion, solvent molecules will move in one direction, solute will move in opposite direction. Both solute molecules and solvent molecules will be moving, but they will be moving in opposite directions. In osmosis, only solvent molecules will be moving, that also in one direction only. For osmosis, a semi-permeable membrane is required, while for diffusion it is not required. When you open the scent bottle, perfume bottle, the diffusion takes place spontaneously. No semi-permeable membrane is required. Diffusion means the movement of particles from higher concentration region to lower concentration region. Next, the semi-permeable membrane. In short form, what we can say? SPM, semi-permeable membrane. A membrane, that means a layer, a thin layer, which allows the solvent molecules, which allows only which molecules? Solvent molecules to pass through it, but opposes the passage of solute molecules through it. Is called, that membrane is called a semi-permeable membrane. Examples of semi-permeable membranes are too many, means natural are available, artificial also available. The parchment paper, the parchment filter paper we say, the parchment paper. Next, membranes covering the animal and plant cells. Each animal cell and plant cell is covered by a membrane. Okay, that membrane acts as what here? Semi-permeable membrane. And many gelatinous inorganic substances. Gelatinous means gum-like. Gelatinous inorganic substances such as calcium phosphate formula Ca plus 2 and phosphate PO4 minus 3. Criss-cross method, apply the exchange the valences Ca3 PO4 taken twice. Ca3 PO4 taken twice. So calcium phosphate and copper ferrocyanide. Copper ferrocyanide. Okay. So here copper ferrocyanide. Copper ferrocyanide. Each copper is plus 2. Plus 2 into 2 plus 4. Plus 2 into 2. Total charge is what here? Plus 4. To balance plus 4, there should be minus 4 on the square bracket. That is, the complex anion should be having what? Minus 4. So plus 4 minus 4 balanced here. Now, here each Cn minus 1. Each Cn minus 1. Minus 1 into 6, minus 6. So out of minus 6, already minus 4 is represented here. Already minus 4 is represented out of, among what? Minus 6. Means from minus 6 charge, minus 4 already is there here. So minus 2 is balanced by plus 2 here. Fe plus 2. If Fe plus 2 is there, here minus 4 will be possible. Okay, so like this, it is called copper ferrocyanide. The word ferro, the ferro belongs to what? Fe plus 2, remember. And ferri, Ferri, ferri means what? Fe plus 3. Fe plus 3 ion is referred by ferri and Fe plus 2 is referred to ferro. So copper ferrocyanide. It is also one of the semi-permeable membranes. The inorganic substances such as what? Calcium phosphate, copper ferrocyanide, etc. act as what? Semi-permeable membranes. Okay. Animal and plant membranes. Each plant cell and animal cell is covered by a membrane. Okay, animal and plant membranes are not all completely semi-permeable. All animal membranes and all plant membranes are not all completely semi-permeable. They may be semi-permeable in some cases. Okay, the best semi-permeable membrane used is phosphate. Means what? The semi-permeable used is what now here generally prepared by deposition of copper ferrocyanide. So the best semi-permeable membrane used is prepared by deposition of copper ferrocyanide. Copper ferrocyanide given by the formula what? Cu2 FeCN6. Here Cu plus 2 each one, each copper plus 2 and iron plus 2 and minus 1 Cn minus. Okay, in the pores of what? A porous pot. The best semi-permeable membrane is used or which is prepared by deposition of what? By depositing copper ferrocyanide in the pores of porous pot. If you take one pot like this, if you take one pot, so this pot is having what? Pores on the walls. What will be the pores will be there? In these pores, what will be deposited? What will be deposited? This compound, copper ferrocyanide, is deposited in the holes of this porous pot. Now it will be used as what here? Best semi-permeable membrane. From this diagram, we can understand the osmotic pressure due to osmosis. Now in this diagram, what is taken is here? Pure water is taken here. That is pure solvent. Pure solvent, that is pure water is taken. Okay. Inside this, what is taken? Sugar solution. What is here? Sugar solution. Aqueous solution of sugar is taken. And separating this pure solvent and the solution, what is their membrane? Semi-permeable membrane is there. Semi-permeable membrane is covered here. This total membrane is what? Semi-permeable membrane. It is separating what and what? Pure solvent and solution. Okay. Now here, whenever we separate pure solvent and solution by semi-permeable membrane, what happens now? The H2O molecules, the water molecules, move from low concentration to low concentration to high concentration. From low concentration to high concentration, the water molecules will move. This phenomena is called what? Osmosis. This process is called osmosis. When water enters into solution side, the level in this column increases. Initially, this much level is there. The solution level in the tube is this one. Now, when this osmosis takes place, when this osmosis process is taking place, the water entering into what now? Solution side. Now the solution level will be increasing here. This level of solution will be increasing. Okay, and it reaches some maximum level. Now the difference between initial level and maximum final level is called what? Hydrostatic pressure. Hydrostatic pressure, which is equal to HdG. Hydrostatic pressure determination. This one. In this way, we can determine what? Hydrostatic pressure. And this hydrostatic pressure developed due to osmosis process. Due to which process? Osmosis process. And this process is what now here? Osmosis. The process name is what? Osmosis. Due to osmosis, what is happening? The hydrostatic pressure is developed. This hydrostatic pressure developed is called osmotic pressure. Now see, the hydrostatic pressure developed as a result of osmosis is a measure of osmotic pressure of the solution. Osmotic pressure of the solution can be measured by measuring what? Hydrostatic pressure. Whatever hydrostatic pressure we get, that will be equal to osmotic pressure. Osmotic pressure is also defined as the hydrostatic pressure built up on the solution which just stops the osmosis. Okay, so whenever hydrostatic pressure becomes equal to osmotic pressure, the osmosis process will come to a stop. So what we have to say, the osmotic pressure is equal to this hydrostatic pressure developed. Okay, so whenever the osmotic pressure and hydrostatic pressure become equal to each other, become equal, what happens now? The osmosis process will be stopped. And this osmotic pressure, the pi is what here? Osmotic pressure. So this osmotic pressure pi is equal to H dG, where H is what? Increase in level in the tube of unit cross section, means constant cross section. The cross section of the tube is same from bottom to top. From top to bottom, the cross section means what? This area, this cross section is same. Okay, now H is what? Increase in level in the tube of unit cross section. And D is what here? Density of solution, density of the solution. And G is acceleration due to gravity. Actually, this will not be an exact measure of the osmotic pressure. So in this process, whatever we measure osmotic pressure is not exact value of the solution. Okay, originally taken because sufficient dilution has taken place with time. From pure solvent, the water molecules entering into solution. Then what is happening? Dilution is taking place. Due to dilution process, whatever osmotic pressure is read here, whatever the osmotic pressure is measured is not exact value. Okay, so this way we have to understand what now here? Osmotic pressure concept. Osmotic pressure. So the concept is clear now here. So if you separate two, okay, solutions. Here one solution is having what? Solution 1 of low concentration. Solution 1 of what? Low concentration. Here what is concentration here? Let it be C1. Okay, this one is solution 2. Solution 2 of high concentration. Let it be C2. Now always the H2O moves from where to where? The low concentration to high concentration. The solvent moves from low concentration to high concentration. And this phenomena is called what? Osmosis. What is the name of this? Osmosis. So osmosis is the movement of solvent molecules from lower concentration region to higher concentration region. And these two are separated by one layer now here. This layer is what? SPM. SPM stands for semi-permeable membrane. Through semi-permeable membrane, H2O solvent molecules are moving from lower concentration to higher concentration. Now, from on the high concentration side, on the side of solution of high concentration, what is happening here? Some pressure is developed. Okay, and if you imagine piston here, this piston moves upward in upward direction due to what? This osmotic pressure. Due to osmotic pressure developed here. Due to osmotic pressure developed due to osmosis process, this piston tries to move in upward direction. It moves in upward direction. If you want to stop this osmosis process, some external pressure, which is equal to osmotic pressure to be applied. Some external pressure which is equal to osmotic pressure should be applied. Okay, then only osmosis process will be stopped. Osmosis process will be stopped whenever this external pressure applied equal to osmotic pressure. When pressure external is equal to osmotic pressure, what happens? Osmosis process will be stopped. So now how to define this osmotic pressure? The pressure needed to be applied to stop the osmosis process is called what here? Osmotic pressure. Okay, so this osmotic pressure pi is equal to CRT. Pi is equal to CRT or delta C RT. This delta C is what now here? Concentration gradient. Concentration gradient. So gradient means what? Difference. The difference between two concentrations is called concentration gradient. And what is R value here? 0.0821 liter atmospheres Kelvin inverse mole inverse. And T is what? Kelvin temperature. Kelvin temperature, absolute temperature. Okay. Delta C is what now? C2 minus C1. Higher concentration minus lower concentration is what now here? Molar concentration. And pi is osmotic pressure. What is pi here? Osmotic pressure. Okay, so now here the same formula we can take what now? The same formula we can take, just a moment. So this formula we can take pi equals to C RT. C is concentration of solution. If you separate what? Pure solvent and solution. Pure solvent and solution, the concentration of solution is taken here. Pi is equal to CRT. This C is nothing but here molarity. What is C here? Concentration is nothing but molarity. Molarity is equal to what? Number of moles of solute by volume in liters. Number of moles of solute by volume in liters. So the number of moles of solute present in 1 liter volume of solution is called molarity. And this molarity, in place of number of moles of solute, what we can write? Given weight of solute by gram molecular weight of solute into volume in liters. Okay, so weight of solute by gram molecular weight of solute into volume in liters will be molarity. So this formula to be applied here in the place of C. So it is what now here? Osmotic pressure. And if you take here, substitute that one, pi is equal to, in place of C, what we can write? Number of moles of solute by volume in liters into RT. Now pi into V. Pi V is equal to what? N R T. This is similar to what? PV is equal to nRT. And this one is called here ideal solution equation. What is called? Not ideal gas, ideal solution equation. Ideal solution equation. And here R is equal to what? S. R is equal to S. It is called here molar solution constant. What is R otherwise S called here? Molar solution constant. Okay, so this is what now the concept of osmosis and osmotic pressure. Okay, ma? Have a good day.